Everybody, welcome to the stream. How you doing? If you don't know, a couple of people have been asking me about the bar fight that I tweeted about. So I'm gonna tell a story because a lot of people were waiting on it. I don't want to sit here and hype up this story more than I already did, okay? So let's talk about it. So I tweeted this right here, okay? Yesterday, because I wanted to tweet about it, but there were too many words. And I was like, you know, I'll just tell it on stream. And then maybe people will want to hear about it. And then a bunch of people are like, dude, I want to hear about it. Because there were a lot of Smashers there with me live, so they saw it. And some of them were like, oh, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear you tell it. Because they were there and they witnessed it. So here's what happened, chat. More fight stories. Chat, I don't get in fights. Now imagine. So, I think it was on the last day of Summit, after the tournament, we wanted to celebrate after the after party at Summit. So Summit had an after party. And then after the after party, we went to a bar local to the area. And it's actually a dope bar. I've been there after like SSS back in the day. I've been there after like different tournaments to hang out with people. And it's a reliable bar that's got good beer. And no frills, open space, no crowds. It's just convenient for everybody, right? So we went to this bar. And just to give a little backstory. Before going to this bar, at some point during the day before top 6, Vish, myself, Milk Tea, Husband, Fizzy, Mango's Mods, and Ringler, and a bunch of us went to the brewery, right? Because Summit, as you know, as they've talked about on stream, there's a brewery nearby that we could just walk to. It's fucking great. It's so convenient. So we walked there to get like 1 or 2 beers before the top 6 starts to watch these matches in a great mood. So we go to the brewery. And at some point while we're at the brewery, Vish and I get into a scuffle. Vish was not the person I got in a bar fight with, but we got into a disagreement. Vish orders a beer about yay tall that is a 12% stout, okay? For those of you who don't drink beer, that is extremely strong. That is a lot. Typically, when you drink a beer of 8% or higher, they pour it in a smaller glass, like a snifter, okay? And then me, I got a beer about yay tall that's about 6%. Half of his. I get another beer, and then I tell Vish when he's like halfway done with his, he goes, oh, I'll just drink this other half with you. And then he basically implied that half of his beer was the equivalent of my full 6% beer. And I argued, and you guys could tell me what you think. I argued that a full beer at 12% is not the equivalent of 2 full beers at 6%. Vish was saying, quick math. He's like, the math checks out. 2 beers at 6% is equal to 1 beer at 12%. And I said, no, I think percentage is like not exponential, but it's not linear. Thank God for Milk Tea and all her education, because I could not find the word. I'm like, no, it's like almost exponential, but not. It's like not at the rate. And then she's like, do you mean non-linear? I was like, yeah, non-linear. It goes up in a curve, right? It's not linear. So I was telling Vish, my 2 beers are possibly less strong than your 1 beer at 12%. Now, chat, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you know? And then Vish tried to argue that he was right because he researched it on Google, and it turns out there was a Reddit thread where some random said, yeah, it's like the math. And then they said exactly what Vish said. I'm like, dude, that is not an authority. And then he's asking me, he's like, well, where's your authority? Is it anecdotal? I was like, I guess, but I've drank a lot of beer, and that's always how it works, okay? Is it by volume? Wait, Comfy. Comfy is my beer guy. Comfy, are you saying it's right? Okay, 16 ounces at 12%. Versus 32 ounces at 6%. Vish is right. Mods, is there a way to go emote only mode real quick? I don't want to see this. Mods, emote only mode, please. For a little bit, just for a little bit. How do I do it? Mods! Hey, all right, thank you, Woogie, thank you. Okay, so anyways, you know, heated battle between Vish and I. No one knew who was right. Right? Is it by volume or is it like non-linear? And the more alcohol percentage you have, the more it fucks you up, but not per volume. It was tough to say. Really tough argument we were having here, okay? But we were arguing about it. So moving on from that, no need to talk about that part of the argument any further. We can move on with the story. Okay, you can turn off emote only mode. We're moving on. Moving on to the night. We go to this bar that we all hang out at the end of the night, right? And we're gathered around, we're just hanging out, having a good time, just telling stories of the past, talking some cool shit about the weekend. We're having a great time, just drinking there, just chatting up. It was just, we were alone outside at a table with our beers, chilling and talking, right? So Milk Tea goes to the restroom, and before she gets back, a drunk patron from inside the bar walks out and sits down right next to me, which is where Milk Tea was sitting. She was on the chair on the corner next to me, And he sat down on the seat right then and there. Sat down on the seat. But here's what happened. You know what Vish was talking about at that very moment? He was talking about how 1 beer at 12% is the equivalent of 2 beers at 6%. He was talking about this whole thing, and I was like, nah, Vish, nah. Shut the fuck up, Vish. This ain't it. And we're talking, and this whole conversation is stupid and pointless. And this drunk guy sits down, and he goes, hey, man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I want to hear it. And then I look at this guy who's not a part of our group, and he's clearly drunk. And then I look around, and I see his boys, like 3 or 4 of them standing right behind him outside. It's like they were getting ready to go. And this person decided to sit down. And he's like, oh, I love math. Tell me the story. So this guy sits down at the table, interrupts the conversation, a stupid conversation, by the way, and gets Vish to stop and says, oh, tell me the story. I like math. Okay, let me paint the picture, okay? He looks like he could be a Raiders fan who is also very inebriated, just butting in, rude as hell, right? Okay, so this is the type of person that's sitting there. So my first reaction was, okay, I already don't like this person is sitting here in our space and interrupting Vish's stupid argument. That is surely not correct. Yeah, it was Thai, milk tea, none, fizzy, Vish, Zoo, and bam. I think that was the entire lineup. Yeah, that was the whole group. I don't think we're missing anybody. And comes in to stop it, right? So he's asking for Vish to tell him the story. And I try to like diffuse a little bit. I was like, oh man, it's not a big deal. Honestly, it's not actually like important. It's like an inside thing between us. That's what I told him. That's my way of saying, yo, you don't belong here. I don't know you, and you're clearly drunk, and you look like a Raiders fan. I don't like your presence here. And you're being rude. You're literally stepping in to interrupt the story. You didn't say hi to anybody. You just kind of walked in. Oh yeah, Bobak was there. Oh, that's important. Bobak is an important part of the story. None was there as well. So yeah, he comes in rudely. He's not like he says, hey, what's up, guys? What are you guys talking about? My name is this. What's your name? And like, he could have been friendly maybe. I still wouldn't have liked it. I don't like people encroaching on my space when I don't know them, right? Like, I'm clearly here with friends. I want to see my friends. I don't want to get to know a stranger who has nothing for me. I don't know who they are. I don't know if I like them yet. Especially when they're drunk and they look like they might be Raiders fans. He sits down and he interrupts Vish, and then I try to tell him, look, not a big story, not a worthwhile story to repeat. Vish is already almost done with the story. And, you're not interested. So I tell him. And he goes, no, I want to hear it. Doesn't really look at me either, by the way. He just keeps looking at Vish. He's like, no, tell me the story. And I was like, hey, look, man. So my friend went to the restroom. When she gets back, we're going to need the seat back, okay? And he's like, yeah, I just want to hear the story. So he kind of ignores me again, and he starts asking for the story. Okay, keep in mind, this guy's got like 4 homies right behind him. So then, Milk Tea comes back from the bathroom. And then I say, oh, hey, man, my friend's back. We got to get the seat back. And you know what he says? You know what this fucker says? He says, oh, that's okay. She can sit on my lap. That's what he fucking said. And I go, oh, okay. No, so you actually need to get the fuck out, right? The politeness ended, right? I actually said, it's like, oh, no. So actually, you need to get up right now and leave, right? And I told him this, and then he like looks at me, and then the guy behind me, remember, he's got his homies behind me. He goes, hey, whoa, relax. Like, he's telling me to relax, right? He's like, hey, whoa, you don't need to talk to him like that. I'm like, no. This guy's being disrespectful, and now I'm telling him to leave. Hey, like, they're trying to calm me down like I'm instigating. Their friend is just having a good time, trying to be friendly to strangers. You don't have to be disrespectful like that. Do you have a problem? They started looking at me like that, right? He's like, oh, do you have a problem? Right? And I told him, I'm like, no, this isn't me. And there is no problem. He just needs to leave. My friend is back and she needs her seat. And he needs to go. I actually had a really good time with this chat because I am a pretty, I'd say, peaceful person. I haven't gotten in a fight since 1st grade. I haven't had any reason to throw hands. And at this point, someone was actually instigating with me. And they were stupid as shit. So I was like, hell yeah. Like, I get to like tell this guy to get the fuck out of here because he's a piece of shit, right? Meanwhile, while this exchange is happening, it's really funny because in my head, this is what I was thinking, okay? It doesn't matter if these guys try to fight me because I got Bobak and None here on the corners just sitting there, just looking at this interaction, right? Bobak's literally in the corner. He's like 5 feet away in the very corner of it. And he's just sitting there smiling at the guy. He's like... Just menacingly, just this huge dude. Bobak's huge, right? He's just sitting there, just smiling at him. And I think the guy even asked Bobak, like, what are you smiling at? He's like, nothing. He's just smiling, right? Just sitting there, just fucking smiling. So in my mind, I felt like we had waves, right? Because while they were getting mad, Bam was talking to them to try to diffuse them. He's like, no, it's chill, man. Like, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a thing. Like, just chill. Like, so we had 3 waves. We had me standing our moral ground, Bam preventing escalation of violence, and none in Bobak ensuring that if there were violence, that it would end in our favor, okay? So we had the 3 waves of defense here, right? We are gonna win this. And you know, if we needed to scrap, we were all gonna scrap, right? Dude, Zoo would have gotten in there. Fizzy? Oh, Fizzy throws a mean uppercut. You guys don't even know, okay? Zoo would have jumped in there, wrapped his legs around, and done a chokehold. They would have gotten in there, okay? Milk Tea would have punched the shit out of the guy, too. We're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? Zoo would, like, slide between his legs and then just do an uppercut in the taint. It would have been nasty. It would have been so hype. Oh, I wish certain people were there. I wish Husband and Woogie were there specifically. They would have loved it. Or Alex19. Oh, they would have loved it. But anyways, that's not the end of the story. So once this exchange starts happening, third guy walks up. And he was this weird looking guy. And I hope they, like, I don't know, did research or something. And they found my channel. And I hope he's watching this right now. Because this guy somehow was shorter than me. He was stocky, right? He wasn't a joke. But he was somehow shorter than me. Kind of manlet size. And then he had this weird thing around just his eye. I don't know. Motherfucker looked like Panic at the Disco back in one of their videos where they only like mascaraed one eye. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I was trying to find a photo of the Panic at the Disco guy, or is it the Killers? Which is one eye. And he's wearing like a fucking top hat or something. And he came up to me and he looks at me like directly in the face with his one fucking mascaraed eye or something. I don't know if it was a bruise. Can someone please find me the photos? I chime in, imagine. Like the Clockwork Orange guy. There you go. And the bridesmaids was a whore. I don't know the lyrics, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It was that guy. He came in like that. Yeah, Clockwork Orange guy. Yeah. Comes in and he points at me. And he starts speaking to me in Spanish. And he says, oye, a nadie se le habla así. Él es mi primo. He's saying, that's my cousin. And he's like, you don't talk to him like that. That's what he's telling me. And I'm just like smiling at him. And he goes, porque si hablas a alguien así otra vez. He says, if you ever, don't speak to people like that, because if you speak to them like that, again, to him or anybody, he says, te parto la madre. Okay, me escuchas, te parto la madre. He said it like multiple times. He's pointing at my face, right? And if you don't know what parto la madre means, the literal translation is split your mother. But what it really means is I'm going to split your face open. That's what he told me. And then I just smiled at him. I'm like, I just told him he's got to go because he was being rude, so he's got to go. And I'm saying this in Spanish, right? I was saying, like, your friend was lacking respect and he needs to go. And then he said it again, right? With his Clockwork Orange ass eye. He's like, te parto la madre. And I was like, I was staring right at him. I just stood my ground. I'm not trying to say like I'm some kind of Sigma male with no fear. I wasn't afraid though. But the reason I wasn't afraid, because Bobak was still in the back just fucking smiling menacingly. I knew everybody had my back. And they weren't even ready for Zoo, much less Bobak. Not to mention I could probably take this guy. He's already shorter than me. Now imagine. So he keeps saying this line to me, right? I was not reacting, okay? I was like, okay. I'm just looking at him. I'm like, no one's talking anymore. Friends just gotta go. And so what he does, this is the funniest shit. If you saw me on Summit, I wore like jewelry, right? I had like rings on, like a watch on, bracelet on. He looks at me, and then he looks at my arm. He looks at my arm, and he looks at me, and then he goes, I got money too. He tells me, I got money too, motherfucker. And you know what that means? That means he was trying to establish to me that I'm not better than him because I probably have money. He was establishing to me, look, buddy, you're not better than me because you have money, because I got money too. I got money. He literally told me, he's like, yo estoy rico también. Okay? Yo estoy rico también. And I'm like, okay. Good for you, buddy. This watch wasn't even $200. It's not like I'm rich. Really, I was just dressed nice. So this motherfucker was mad, okay, that he only could afford mascara on one eye. I'd be mad too. He could only afford half. Did he do a half sample at Sephora? Couldn't even afford to do the other eye. I'd be mad too if another guy was looking fly and he's not being shook by the shit I'm saying to him. He said, yo tengo dinero también. Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I got money too. Yo tengo dinero también. As I kept responding to him, then I think the final insult he tried to throw at me, he made fun of my Spanish because my Spanish is kind of whitewashed, right? You could tell that I'm not of the home country, right? Basically, what he was doing was just expressing all of his different insecurities about himself. His height, his lack of good looks, his lack of money, I guess. And he was mad at me and my composure, right? The fact that I wasn't really reacting to him, I wasn't gonna fight him. If he wanted to fight, we could have fought, but I wasn't gonna let him make me mad. I was not mad at all. I was laughing. This was great. And this was multiple times. He walked away and then came back. He's like, hey, listen to me. Te parto la madre. Said it multiple times. Yeah, and I was like, okay. And I didn't move once, chat. I was on the table and I just, I really wanted to see what would have happened. What would have happened if Nun stood up? If Bobak stood up, right? What if they heard Nun's much better Spanish than mine? They would have been like, oh shit, this guy's from the home country. I think they'd be more scared of that. They're less scared of the whitewashed accent. What eventually happened was Bam diffused it enough for them to like walk away, but they were still talking shit. And meanwhile, I was still talking to Vish. I was still kind of like just casual, laughing at different things. I didn't laugh in his face because I knew that would set it off. But I did smile. I've come to learn, because I almost got in a fight in Singapore as well, that when you smile at them, they get really pissed off. They get really pissed off. When you give them a shit-eating grin, oh, that pisses them off. Oh, that makes them so mad. I've had enough experience in dealing with people who are ready to fight to understand what stops the fight. And one of the things that stops the fight is you not being intimidated by them. You don't disrespect them. I didn't give him the shit-eating grin, and I didn't push him. I didn't react. I just let him say his stupid shit, and I just stared at him and I go, Because at that point, they knew that I was not getting intimidated by them, and then they knew that I might be some more trouble than I was currently worth. Then this group might be more trouble than we are currently worth. And most people, if they have a weapon, they don't want to grab it. No, unless they're straight up killers, right? If I was dealing with a cartel person, okay, then shit. Bad luck, buddy. But most people, they're not trying to go there. It's that when both parties escalate, then it goes there. And part of, in my opinion, de-escalation is standing your ground, right? Saying, look, this is where I'm at. This is where you'll have to meet me. Are you willing to do that for this? And typically the answer is no, right? The guy went up to my face. He said, te voy a partir la madre, multiple times. And I just kept going, If I was ever like, what did you say? What'd you say about my mom? You're gonna split my mother? What the hell does that mean? Like ¿qué? Like if I reacted, then perhaps we escalate. Then they say something else. But here in this situation, you just let it rock. You just smile because you know they're insecure. Like, what am I dealing with here? I'm dealing with an insecure goddamn Clockwork Orange motherfucker wearing a weird fedora. I don't care. He's a man. He's shorter than I am, chat. That's insane. I'm not gonna let something like that shake me up. And plus, like I said, if it came down to it, we had to fight, I was ready. I don't know how I would do it, but I would fight. And I would just count. I would just hope that Fizzy comes in from the back with the fish hook, puts him on his knees. This guy invented Slippy. A little fight is not gonna break him. He can do anything. I should have told the guy that. Te voy a partir la madre. Oye, este güey, él inventó Sleepy. He would have flipped out. Oh shit, run away. ¿Es Sleepy? Él? Yeah, this guy right here. This guy right here. Ran the fuck out of there, dude. Online for a 20-year-old game? No fucking way. That guy dips. Oye, pero Melee salió 20 años. Hace 20 años. ¿Cómo que tienes online? What do you mean he invented? They would have thought he was a sorcerer or something, man. I don't know. These guys could have been, spiritual. They might be scared of that kind of shit. They don't want to fuck with magic. Oye, pero eso se juega en los CRTs. ¿Cómo que online? ¿Cómo que rollback? Yeah, you know what? They might have been hired guns by Nintendo. You see this Hugs fucker? This guy needs to shut the fuck up. This guy's talking too much. Send in the Panic at the Disco guy. Oh, man. You know how disrespectful it would have been if when he came up to me and he's like, te voy a partir la madre. I pulled out my phone. I was like, I took a picture of his eye. I don't know how you walk up to a group like you're going to intimidate them. At 5'4" with mascara on just one eye. What do you think is going to happen? Because you got muscles, I'm gonna be scared of you? Yeah, I would have made sure I punched him on the other eye so that they're matched. He's like, I'm gonna split your face. Like, alright, I'm gonna give you some fucking symmetry, motherfucker. I'm gonna make the other eye match. I would have laughed too hard. I couldn't have said that. I would have laughed too hard. Oh, man, but it was fun. It was fun. I really wish some of the other homies were there. Dude, if Mango was there, Mango would have fought. I've already been in situations where Mango's there. It could literally be our friend acting a fool, and Mango's ready to fight. It does not matter. I don't know if you guys heard the story, but way back, you know when we do Fun Day Tuesdays? They weren't really Smash-centric. It'd be us at a place like playing beer pong and hanging out. We went to a house, And one of our mutual friends, the literal host, was like getting pissed at like the mess that we were leaving. Like I'm feeling like, okay, no, he's right. We should like kind of slow down, clean it up. Then our friend, I won't name a name, but our friend throws a bunch of poker chips at the host. He like throws it at him. And then we're like, dude, yo, come on, man. God damn it, he's drunk. Like he was being an idiot. And then the host is like, what the f? He's like pissed. He's like, no, your friend's a fucking tool. And then immediately, Mango snaps from like trying to be understanding. He's like, don't call him a tool. You call him a fucking dumbass. You call him an idiot, but don't call him a fucking tool, right? Like Mango was ready to scrap right then and there. I was like, all right, look. Our friend is actually being a piece of shit, Mango. Like, let's just stop right here. Just chill out. Mango was ready to fight. So I think if Mango was there, we might have fought. We might have fought right then and there. And the funny thing is, if Mango was there instead of me, the guy would have looked at him and he never would have made the I'm rich too comment. You know what I'm saying? Mango does not look like a rich guy, but Mango's got way more money than me. Way more money than any of us at the table. He would have thought he was broke as shit. He might have walked away because he didn't want to beat down a broke man. He's like, all right, I'll let this go, man. Do you need money, dude? I'll buy you a beer or something, man. He would have tried to pay for Mango's tab. All right, anyway, that's the fight story. Yeah, it was fun. If Husband was there, some shit would have gone down too. Husband is huge. Dude is huge. Next time we'll actually get in the fight, okay? Next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll be posting when I'm live, or just hit the follow button and you'll get the notification, right? And also check out YouTube, !YouTube. Peace. Good night. Later. How many beers in was this duel? This particular one with Wizzy Fan, I was sober. I did not physically fight Wizzy Fan. I only threatened. Now imagine